Yo, what's up? Episode 24.1. The shit just rudely cut me off. YouTube, y'all some rude motherfuckers. Y'all just cut a nigga off and shit, you know what I'm saying? In the middle of my specs. Excuse me. Uh, so, let's just go ahead and continue on. Episode 24, I'm going to call this one point one. We're just going to talk about the specs real quick, you know what I'm saying? The PS5 central processing unit has an 8-core, 3.5 gigahertz. The Xbox Series X has an 8-core, 3.8 gigahertz. They both have the AMD Zen 2 chip. The graphics processing unit, the PlayStation 5 has 10.3 teraflops. The Xbox Series X has 12.0 teraflops. So that's a plus on the Xbox. Also, two pluses on the Xbox side. The memory. The memory is, let's see, 16 gig GDDR6 RAM. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what it said. And then just standard memory as far as like the memory that your games is going to be going to and all that. PS5 has a 825 gig memory. And the Xbox Series X comes with a terabyte. They both are 8K supportive. And they both kicking out 120 frames a second. Almost all PS4 games is playable on the PS5, and all Xbox One games is playable on the Xbox Series X. Some Xbox 360 and some original Xbox games. But all Xbox One games will be able to play on the Xbox Series X. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to get into and talk about at the end of my last video before it cut me off was the specs of the both systems. As y'all can see and heard, they similar. Ray tracing is something that's real huge with the next consoles, both of them. To really put in retrospect what ray tracing is, ray tracing is just like a better, more detailed rendering process. It renders in a higher resolution, and it's like sand. You feel me? I always use this as an example. Like if you look at sand, instead of like sand being like a whole unit as one, like all the sand on the beach, instead of that being like one unit that you put on a map when you're designing the game as far as like graphics. So without ray tracing, the sand is gonna look good, and you'll be able to see that it's sand, but it'll be one unit, if you understand what I'm saying. So ray tracing is, it'll pre-render and it'll make the sand, you'll be able to see, like, you feel me, 1,000 little fucking rocks in the sand, you feel me, that form the sand, you know what I'm saying? Instead of like the sand being like one unit type shit and it's brown, you know. Ray tracing allows you to see more in-depth graphics, you know what I'm saying? Like the sweat running down the motherfucker face, like that's gonna be real detailed. Shit blowing up, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to see every little particle, every little small speck, smoke coming from it, you know, it's gonna be blast lines coming from each particle, you know what I'm saying? You can see a whole lot more in-depth detail with this ray tracing thing going on, and the support of 8K on these systems. These systems coming out is real powerful, you know what I mean? They definitely groundbreaking, but you know, every 6-7 years we got a new system. It's due time. The one came out in 2013, so it's definitely due time for one. Am I blown away by the graphics? Not really. As far as what I got now, like the one in the PS4 is already dope. I don't really see it getting too much better than that. But again, I said the same thing when I was rocking with the Xbox, rocking with the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. I'm like, damn, this looked dope, you know, in that time. Like, how can it get better than this? But as you see, we all know, it done got way better. every time. So I'm just kind of anxious to see how it's going to be. I'm definitely anxious for that Miles Morales Spider-Man. That's probably the number one game. They showed it first. That's probably the number one game that I'm highly, highly interested in. Uh, and about that game, it's not a sequel. Um, it's not a sequel to the game. I'm thinking it might be maybe even some crazy DLC. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they definitely said it's not a sequel. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna just wrap it up. I wanted to just get them specs in there and talk about them specs, the graphic processing unit, the different teraflops. Um, yeah, that's really all I wanted to get into. Continuation to episode 24. This is episode 24.1. You know, because YouTube, y'all some rude motherfuckers. Y'all just cut me fuck off for some reason. Maybe it was my phone. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I got cut off the last episode. If you watch the last one all the way to the end, you're going to see that shit cut me off, you feel me? But this channel is raw, live, and uncut, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing scripted out for this shit, you feel me? It ain't no extra bullshit, no, you know what I mean, putting together intros and, you know, got a whole way of coming on and putting extra effects in my video and all. This is raw shit right here, you feel me? Shot on my iPhone 11 Pro, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no laptop involved, ain't no editing involved, ain't no, you know what I mean? None of that type of shit. This is rough, rugged, and raw, you know what I mean? But, yeah, though. Shout out to all my subscribers, though. Shout out to everybody that I inspire. Um, Shout out to everybody who take from what I'm doing with my podcast and incorporate their own podcast. Um, Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I see a couple of y'all doing this podcast shit too. More power to you. Embrace the hustle. You know what I mean? Shit is definitely a hustle. Um, just got to be smart with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't overdo your audience. Man, fuck up. I'm not giving y'all no game. Shit, you feel me? But yeah, that's the specs though. PS5 and the Xbox One, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? But yeah though, shout out to all my subscribers though, you feel me? Fuck with y'all, fuck with y'all. I fuck with y'all heavy, you know what I mean? Spread this shit, man. Share the fuck out of it, man. Put it on your Facebook. If you in Messenger chats, put this shit in your chat room. All that shit, you feel me? Share this shit. You got Twitter, share this shit on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Tell your family, tell your brothers, sister, uncle, cousins, daddies, mamas, grandmas. Tell everybody about this shit. Kons motherfucking podcast. You know what I'm talking about?